thank you for wanting to do this. It's a project that we thought about really randomly, and from one moment to another it came to life, and we did the first one. It was very successful, and because of the relationship that we have and that you've had with Oscar and Anita for quite some time now, I find it really special to be able to share your story and to hear it personally. I've heard snippets here and there every time, but it's fun to really capture everything from start to finish. So thank you for wanting to participate. Perhaps we can start with my most important question, which is, how and why did you decide to come to Andalusia?
Well, it was a dream that we'd always had, was to have a house abroad. So we started looking, and Mike found Oscar and Anita online by chance. We put an offer in on this big house up near Guathil.
Okay.
And it was way more than we could afford, and we put the offer in, and that was refused.
Was much lower.
Thankfully, it was refused.
There was a very funny moment because we had this offer outstanding. We went home for 2 weeks, and I said to Marianne, have you noticed anything about the last 2 weeks? And she looked at me and I said, no. I said, well, open a bottle, we're going to talk about this. And I said, well, we're supposed to apart from getting married and falling in love, we were about to fulfill our dream. And we haven't talked about it. Isn't that odd?
Mm-hmm.
Not only did we withdraw our offer, we also decided to put the whole project on hold.
Okay.
And not buy abroad at all.
And that was on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
On Monday morning, I always get up before Marianne does, and I was in my office at home, and I got obviously a round-robin email from VillasFincas with an aerial shot, a drone shot, which was taken just there, up there, of this house. And I went, oh no. And Marianne came in with a cup of coffee, and I said, look at this. And I said, I've been talking to Oscar already, and and I said, we've got to go and see this, because we'll regret it if we don't.
Yeah.
And we flew out the next day.
Well,
Wow.
we flew, that was on a Monday. We flew out on Thursday, and we bought it.
That's incredible.
And we realised then that it was like, we didn't want big, we didn't want remote in the middle of nowhere, and we realised here we had access to the sea.
Yeah. Suddenly
And-
all the boxes were checked.
Yeah, but
And you didn't
different
even know
boxes
it.
to what we'd originally envisaged. So our whole thought process changed, and Oscar just said to us, you've got to put how much, 5k down now to secure it. And we did, literally down now. We didn't think about it, we didn't question it. It was just like, this was it, this was meant to be.
And as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah. And how many years ago was this?
9.
9 years ago.
Yeah. I think there's an element of the fact that I think sometimes in life, the gods are with you, whoever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And this was very much a moment where the gods were with us, in so much that we'd been tested by this offer further inland, which would have been a disaster, both financially and physically.
Terrible.
And we worked it out ourselves.
Yeah.
And therefore, the next moment that happens is that, okay, they've worked this out. Here's what you want.
Here's the real one.
Yeah, here's the real one.
It's not the way that things would usually go, but maybe the way things go here.
Yeah.
in the south of
Interesting enough, the
Spain.
house was empty when we bought it.
Okay.
It had a sofa, a kitchen, a garden table in it, and that was it.
Well, it hadn't been lived in for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And when we bought this, it was the perfect footprint, but inside was a disaster.
Yeah.
We had to have such vision,
Yeah.
which luckily we both have, and we share the same vision. So we both knew we can do this, we can do that. So it worked brilliantly. And
And the more we went on, it was meant to be, because it all tick-tocks. We had a good architect who did everything in a very Spanish way, which was a learning curve for us. But it was all, we couldn't have done that without an architect.
no, because it was remote.
Because we
couldn't
needed
be here all
it
the
needed
time.
to be managed.
Yeah.
I mean, from November to April when we moved in, we only had to come out here to oversee things once.
Fantastic.
And they literally were gutting it
Yeah.
and knocking it about and it was amazing, the efficiency of the manager.
Yeah.
And that's what was brilliant. And we took a view to working only with locals, because we're sort of people who want to support the local communities, and that's where Villas&Fincas were brilliant, because they had the relationship with artists. The biggest problem when we moved in was getting, because we brought a van out from England with all our furniture, was getting it up the hill, because the big trucks couldn't come up. So
Too
again,
heavy.
artists were amazing. We unloaded everything down the bottom, put it into his skip, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
well,
was sort
his
of a skip type
trucks.
thing,
Yeah.
and he just brought it up in loads.
One
That's what's important, is just being part of a community, whether it's Spanish or Dutch or German or English, Gibraltarian. That's what you have around here.
Yeah.
If you can be bothered to let it happen or make it happen.
Yes. You feel at home
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's home. This is home.
At the end of the day, that's what you're looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah. It's not a holiday home. It's a home. You'll see how it's decorated. It's very much a home.
It's not a house where you stay in.
No, absolutely.
We'll get a little tour of the house, but
Yeah.
rather than a tour of understanding which room is what, is more interesting to know which room used to be what.
So the first thing we saw was the view,
Yeah.
and that just blew us away. Really, we never expected to have a view like that. But you've got 140 degrees worth of Mediterranean.
Yeah.
So
And you
what
can
we
see
wanted
the
to
Rift
do
Mountains.
inside was max out that view.
Yeah.
So wherever we were, we could see it, if possible.
Yeah. Create the connection between inside and
Yeah,
outside.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we walked in here for the first time, the whole house was empty, and there was one old leather sofa there, and there was a garden table there,
Mm-hmm.
and
This was all like rooms, so we
Yeah.
immediately thought we wanted to open it all up and make it breathe.
Yeah.
And there was a huge sort of counter and hatchway here, all blocked off. Yeah, this was all about creating a bit of light, and other than that, it works perfectly well. But when we first got here, so this was just a window.
outside window.
It was a little window from here to here
Mm-hmm.
to go out, and then outside you literally just walk out to nothing. But when we saw this porch, we realised we could make a bath in that.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, we wanted 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's small, but it's perfect. The English love baths, so we
Yep.
have to have bathtubs.
I mean, who doesn't like a good bath?
Exactly. It's small, but it works, and it's usually only for people staying a few nights.
Yeah.
It was an old porch full of junk,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh, we can see that's a bathroom. So
Yeah.
then we thought, right, knock this through. So it's a very small door, but it works, because then you can fit the bed in here.
Yeah.
And previously, when we walked in here, you would access this room from that corner. There was a door there, so there was no way to put a bed. These huge cupboards coming out here,
Yeah.
and it was dark and gloomy and
Mhm.
horrible. So we thought, okay, block that up, and it makes perfectly good space
Yeah.
for a double room.
Yeah.
And then in here, they both have their privacy.
Mm-hmm.
They can shut the door and they're in here.
Yeah.
It's a very cool room, this. As in
Yeah, because it doesn't get
On
much
the
sun.
north side.
It stays
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So when we talk about vision, it was always trying to maximize the space, to maximize the light.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, totally.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's a small footprint.
This window stopped here.
Yeah.
It was from there to there.
Okay.
So you're missing out on one of the great views of the world. It was
Yeah.
so obvious to just drop the window down
Yeah.
and make it bigger, and you let the light come in.
Yeah.
So
that was originally the door through into the other room.
Okay.
So again, it was so easy to just block that door.
Yeah.
And then you've still got one door to create your own
Yeah.
private ensuite
Yeah.
here. There was another door here. We took
Yeah.
that off because it was doors opening,
Yeah.
doors opening. It was like madness.
Yeah.
And this bathroom was a disaster, but it was perfectly good space to make into a
Yeah.
perfectly good bathroom.
Yeah.
We did a lot, but not too much.
Mhm.
To us, it was very obvious
Yeah.
what we needed to do.
And Artes instantly understood the assignment.
yes, they did, and they told us what we couldn't do and what we could do.
Yeah.
Well, Mike's
And-
very good because he draws everything. So he drew the diagram,
Yeah.
what we wanted, And because I work in the world of hotels, I'm very pedantic about plug sockets, where they are, how many, what level, how high,
and bedside lights.
the width of shower glass, the height of bedside lights. So I'm very pedantic about that. So between us, we were able to give really detailed directions and instructions.
I absolutely love what you did with it. It's you can see that the house is alive.
That was my present to Marianne for buying the house,
Beautiful.
which I bought in Estepona.
And he came up the hill, you'll see in the book, on a
on
forklift truck
Yeah.
with a guy from Artis hugging him from the front. And he got forklifted up here before the Casita was there, and then they rolled him on planks all the way along. For us here, it's another room, because we're always outside.
Yep.
We tend to sit and drink down there on the terrace, that's why we made it really comfortable for relaxing. In the daytime, everyone's up here around lunchtime. And then, this is all the fake grass we did.
Because we dug all this out.
Green.
And one year, one great friend was up that end, and he just said, I just so want a bed here to lie and look out.
Yeah.
So we thought,
That's a
a
fantastic
good
idea.
So Mike went off down, bought the wood, and made this, what we call a sala.
Yeah.
And that probably has the best views of all.
It's absolutely
I mean,
fantastic.
when you're on holiday, it's all about, like they say, different menu, different venue.
Yep.
And these little moments like this provide that moment.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah. So this is what we built 3 years ago.
The newest addition and project.
And the last.
Probably the best room in the house. And again, it was all about getting that view.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing. So you could
Yeah.
lie in bed and look out.
Yeah.
Really important. And here, because we built it rather than the footprint of an existing building, we were able to have a proper big bathroom. Separate bath, separate shower. And we had such funny time with Artes because this was all a foot down. And they
So
thought
it
we
was
were
made
mad.
for
I
the
said,
Spanish.
right, everything has to have another foot.
We actually put another course of bricks on the top of the roof.
Okay.
Because we wanted to keep the height that we have in the house, the
Yeah.
same feeling of the height. And then the biggest thing was the shower. Because again, they were making it like this wide. And I said, no, you have to stand in a shower and be able to do that. So it must always be 1 metre wide.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too big, too big, too big. I said, no. But by the end, they said, I completely understand.
Yeah.
If you've got space to put a big shower,
Then
put
why
a big
wouldn't
shower.
you? Yeah.
So that is fantastic with a separate tub.
Being creatives yourself and having so much life
Yeah.
inside of you helps.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you want to.
Well, it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
But we do get a bit carried away. That's why we get with so much stuff everywhere. It's like everything is too much, over the top. But
But it's so characteristic of who you are.
yes,
That
yes.
one of my last questions for you is, if you had the chance to do everything that you did the way you did it, would you do it again?
Yes. Without any
a
question.
He's itching to do it again right now. All he wants to do is find another property to buy and do it again. And I think...
Would you if you had the chance?
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what? We wouldn't do it very differently.
Okay.
We'd use the same builders, the
Yeah.
same plumbers, the same people, the same villas and vincas, because it worked so seamlessly with them that, as they say, why try to mend it if it isn't broken?
Yeah.
I'm always on the VillasFincas
He's
website.
dying to
Look,
do it again.
Checking to see what we
And I'm
have.
not just saying that for the video.
If you think back on the last 9 years that you've had here,
Yeah.
what are your top 3 favorite memories?
Ooh. The top 3 favourite memories was undoubtedly furnishing the place and see it come to life.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I think one of our it's a collective memory. The parties we have down on the terrace there are generally pretty cool and pretty fun.
And I've never been invited.
Well, you just got-
My favourite memories when I get home are just like, what I miss is just lying in bed, making a cup of coffee, those windows open, just looking out to sea, looking at Africa,
Yeah.
and then just moving out and sitting here having my coffee in my bag
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. Well, maybe more of a memory. It's a tradition.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you create a routine.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time, for your story, for wanting to share, for inspiring me, for inspiring others. And
well, I hope it does. Everyone should try and make a dream come true.